Greetings, this is Asaya Mystic coming to you with another message to help you free your heart and soul. Right now, I am talking about why the earth is never mentioned in astrology. So, the earth as a planet is and has been neglected in the area of astrology for I don't know how long, honestly, but I've just come to a point of realizing that it's actually been happening and seeing that there's so many planets that get acknowledged. There's so many energies that get acknowledged when we are delving into astrology. But the earth as a planet, okay, not as an element, because earth is recognized as an element, but it's not recognized as a planet. And this is very important when it comes to the realms of astrology, and it shines a lot of light onto how twisted this new age spirituality and this new age understanding of astrology and heavenly bodies and heavenly realms is. So why is the earth ignored in the realms of astrology? One of the biggest things that I noticed is that when most people think of astrology, we're thinking of astrology and we're interpreting astrology as if we're being acted upon by the planets, by the universe, by the energies that be. We're feeling as though everything in our birth chart is acting upon us, right? I'm this way because my Mercury is in this, or I'm acting like this because my Jupiter is in this, or we're carrying this vibration as if because our birth chart is lined up in a certain way, we're being acted upon by these heavenly influences. And so when you take Earth out of the picture in astrology, it's very easy to carry on this understanding that we are being acted upon by heavenly bodies in the universe, because it will take our responsibility and accountability out of the picture as well. Because when we don't recognize Earth as a planet, Earth is just like, there's just this fog around why we're even here in the first place. There's this fog about life and the mystery of life. And there's this fog around who we are in relationship to the earth. And when we don't talk about the earth in a planetary aspect, and having a planetary influence, then we can also neglect the earth. We can also ignore the earth and ignore our responsibilities that we have on this earth. And so there's a huge, very, very huge and important reason why the earth has been left out of astrology. And a big part of that reason has to do with, with the start of the earth shifting from its original polarity and from its original state of being, which was a state of pure love, peace, and harmony, right? Of very high vibrational beings, very high vibrational living. Things were not as they are in this present moment. And a lot of people think that the way that most people are living now is like this big, we've come so far kind of thing. We're so advanced, we're so ahead, technologically, and it's just like they don't realize that we've actually devolved. And a lot of the stuff that we do now, we only think that it's an upgrade based off of the historical teachings that have been taught to us by people who haven't even been here that long, okay? Beings and energies that haven't even been here that long. So we'll get into that in another video. But right now, the earth, it is so important that we start bringing up the earth when we speak on astrology and when we speak on the planetary alignments and all these things, because we can't talk about anything else and we can't understand anything else until we understand the planet that we live on, point blank, period. So we live on an earth, okay, that is feminine in nature. We live on an earth that is ruled by the energetic constellation of Taurus, okay? Everybody knows that Taurus is the most earthiest sign. And if you are not familiar with astrology and you're just getting into it, just know that Taurus is ruled by the earth, and the energetic frequency of Taurus is that of the earth. So when we're talking about the earth as a feminine force, understand that the earth is nurturing, okay? Giving, it's providing, it's a stable force that is, loving and in its highest self forgiving. And so that's why people can come to this place and do all kinds of stuff and, be in a different alignment of that of the earth, be in a whole nother frequency than the earth's frequency, and the earth will forgive them, and you can still live here, you can still go on, you can still. But what people don't understand is, if you don't understand a Taurus, you don't understand the earth. If you don't understand that you can take things too far, you can take things too far. Like, you can go too far with the earth. And this is another big reason why the earth isn't brought up in conversations about astrology, because then people will have a lot of questions, and questions lead to inevitable answers. And so when you push too far into what is in alignment and what is right for the earth, when you just feel like you can just get away with all this stuff, the earth is going to be like hell no, okay? Volcanoes gonna erupt, hurricanes gonna come, floods, droughts. Like, the earth is a living being, just like you and I. The earth is alive, okay? She is present. She's alive. She's a living being. We're not making this stuff up. She exists. You're living on her. You're eating from her. You're being nourished by her. Like, literally, you live in an organism called Earth. And so when you don't bring up Earth in these conversations in astrology, and talking about the planets, you're also taking away from the feminine element that Earth carries, and the importance of Earth in the realm of feminine energy in the universe. So the universe is feminine in nature. People want to argue and be like, it's masculine and feminine. Okay, I never said there was no such thing as masculinity. But what I am saying is the universe that we live in is feminine. So wherever you want to go to live in that masculine universe, go there if you want to argue about it. But we live in a feminine universe, and we live on a feminine earth. And earth is a different kind of feminine than the feminine that has been put and stamped onto the woman that exists here on this planet, which is Venus, okay? So we'll talk about Venus more in another video, but Venus is basically the goddess of love, right? She is the epitome of love. And when we go into the 13 clan mothers of the earth, which is something that we speak on in the Sacred Soul Sisterhood, when we speak on the 13 clan mothers of the earth, one of the clan mothers is actually Venus, and her energy is, you can find her energy in the planet of Venus. So this sign has been stamped the sign of feminine energy, and even the gender of a woman. The stamp, the sign is Venus, is the sign of Venus. So when we look at this and we only, see Venus as feminine energy, and we never recognize the earth as actually being the main stamp of femininity. Venus is just a co-contributor to the earth's energy. So they work together, the earth and Venus, to create feminine energy. But when we never recognize the earth as being the main core of feminine energy, we understand being feminine as also being docile, passive. You can get away with a lot of stuff when it comes to Venus. You can run over a woman when you put this stamp of Venus on her. You can do whatever you want to Venus. Venus knows how to love herself. And yes, there's a balance with Venus, but it's important to now see the earth as actually the main core of feminine energy, because she is in partnership with Venus, and Venus is one in and of itself. Okay, so when this becomes the main stamp, when the earth becomes the main stamp as feminine energy, you can't get away with the same stuff that you used to get away with. You can't do the same things. You can't, you can't beat on the earth. You can't you can't do all these things and then not get your ass whooped. Like, you just can't. You can't do it. So that's another reason why they don't bring up the earth, and the earth is not recognized as the main symbol of femininity, because that's too much strength and that's too much power, to give a woman her recognition as being the force of the earth, right? And a significant part of the earth's energy. That's too much power. So when we go back into all the Greek philosophy and all that, stuff based off of homosexuality and all that, you realize that these people really they really hated women, number one, and they also had no respect for the earth, and they still don't have any respect for the earth. So this is why you have people now, who go on and on and on about astrology, yet the earth as an element, like I said, is recognized, but as a planet, it's another conversation. And it's really important that we start to recognize right now why the earth is a really big and important part of our charts, and it is our path. When we come here, we have an earth path. So like we have a sun sign, a moon sign, Mercury, Jupiter, all of those things that rule over these energies. Since we came to live here on earth is our path. Okay, the sun is our creative energy, the moon is our emotional energy, list goes on, but the earth is our path. And so we all come here with an earth path. We all come here with an earth sign. Okay, we all come here with an earth house. Why is that completely, obliterated? Like, it's never mentioned. So now I'm going to take it upon myself to start mentioning it, right? Start bringing these things to the forefront, to start airing it out, because the earth is rising in this present moment, and the earth needs you, the earth needs I to carry out her awakening and to carry out her rising. And as she rises and awakens, then we also can arise and awaken and come into our fullest potential here on this planet. So thank you so much for watching. Make sure you stay tuned for the next video, like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video.